Hello everyone. Today we'll be starting with the concept of banking, a brief introduction to the concept of banking and also about the structure of commercial banks in India. So when I say banking, banking is nothing but one of the most important financial activity of any economy, and hence it is considered to be the backbone of any economy. In simple terms, I can define banking as the process of accepting deposits from people and lending it out to another group of people. So when I say accepting money from a group of people or from an individual, that individual need not be a super rich person, but it might be a normal person who draws a very normal salary, but can afford to save a part of that salary as his savings. And when I say a person who goes out for lending from a bank, it need not be a beggar, but a person who might be the owner of a well-versed business, but is in requirement of a fund for expansion of his business or for some other personal purpose. So this is the concept of banking, and the intermediaries which facilitates this process of accepting deposits and lending money are called as commercial banks in India or in any part of the world, right? And coming to the structure of commercial banks, this is the structure of commercial banks in India. In India, the commercial banks or banks as a whole can be classified into two basic categories. One is scheduled banks and the other classification is non-scheduled banks. So in simple terms, if someone asks me what is a scheduled bank, the simple definition is nothing but those banks or the list of those banks which are included in the Schedule 2 of the RBI Act of 1934. So any bank which is not included in this Schedule 2 of the RBI Act of 1934 can be classified as a non-scheduled bank, right? And yes, when I say scheduled banks can again be classified into three basic categories. One is public sector banks, another one is private sector bank, and the third one is foreign banks. So what is a public sector bank? Public sector bank is nothing but the group of banks in which 51% or more of the share is owned by the government of India. So any bank which does not meet this criteria can be classified as a private sector bank or a foreign bank in India. So any bank which has 49% of or less than the share owned by the government of India is classified as a private sector bank in India, and any bank which has its headquarters situated outside India but has its operations in India can be classified as a foreign bank. Public sector banks are again classified into two, which is SBI and its associates and the nationalized banks of India. Okay. Recently, after the merger of the SBI, now SBI and its associates remain as a single entity called SBI. Okay, and these are the various the list of various nationalized banks in India. And nationalized banks are those banks which were nationalized in the process of the nationalization which took place in India in two periods. One is in 1969 and the second process of nationalization which took place in 1980, right? And coming to private sector bank, any bank like ICICI, Axis Bank or HDFC Bank can be classified or can be a good example of the private sector banks in India. And foreign banks, any bank like Royal Bank of Scotland, Deutsche Bank, anything can be classified as a foreign bank. So this was about a brief introduction of the banking system and the structure of commercial banks in India. And I hope this helps you to understand the basic concept of banking in our country. Thank you.